you for being here today. Thank you, Mrs. Iverson. I'm so honored to be here to speak with you this morning. And if it looks like I could be one of you, it's because I was, like, pretty recently enough to where I still have a valid student ID. And when my friend and I were being escorted into the VIP area last night, we got stopped, like, who are these people? They look like students. Trying to sneak in for free, you know? So, pretty recent, graduated in 2015. And being here reminds me of a time when I was about a month out of graduation. And I was just having the worst week ever. You know the ones that, like, everything goes wrong? Yeah, that was one. This one was one of those. And I've been applying for jobs and found out that week I did not get any of them. I had turned down an acceptance to a grad program and subsequently sat through a presentation about how grad school exponentially increases your chances of success. And to top it off, I saw my ex-boyfriend on campus, who was married and successful, and there I was, jobless and alone. This rolled great, so I'm feeling kind of like this. You know the feeling. I cannot adult today. So I'm sitting in the Wilkinson Center in the terrace at one of the tables, and this really nice older gentleman starts talking to me. He tells me, and I find out that he's a retired chemical engineer, and he asks me what I'm studying. I want to say, oh, well, I'm an English major with an editing minor. He just gets this look of concern in his face. Like, I can tell that what's going to come out of his mouth is probably not going to make my week any better. So he proceeds to tell me, in the nicest way possible, that all the jobs now are in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. That my chances of getting a job with my degree are about 10 to 1. And that I should really seriously consider doing something else. Thank you. So as you can imagine, I'm feeling like all the feelings at this point. That's it. I'm going to live in a cardboard box for the rest of my life. Or, you don't know me? You don't know what I've been through this week? But then I had a moment where I stopped and was like, you know what? No. I've thought really carefully about the decisions that I've made up to this point in my life. And I feel like I'm on the right track. I don't know how my life is going to work out, but I believe that it will, and that I can be successful. So I tell him as much. And we're wrapping up our conversation, and he looks at me and says, well, it's going to be sink or swim out there, and how well can you swim? And I looked him in the eye, and I smiled, and I said, very well, thank you. And I walked away. Head held high. Now, we come to times in our lives that look like this. We're staring into the great beyond, the great unknown that is life after BYU. Or, you know, wherever you are in your process. And it can be really scary to be in that place. As I was facing graduation, I had all these thoughts going through my head, feeling like this, you know? Oh my gosh. Like, remember that guy last night who talked about how you only have like one life, one shot? I'm like, oh my gosh. Because someone like me is thinking, well, I better not mess this up. I better do the right thing for my life. And then you look around and you see, oh my gosh, I'm already behind. I haven't sailed the 7 seas. I haven't climbed 7 peaks. I haven't started a nonprofit when I was 15 years old. No? What have I done? And that's kind of the big one that I was asking myself is anything that I do ever going to matter? Will my life have value? Is anyone ever going to care that I lived? And over the past year and a half, I've learned and been able to look back and see some principles that have helped me navigate those times of uncertainty, the times where you look ahead and you can't see anything, with the confidence that it's going to turn out okay. So I'm going to tell you a story, and we'll talk about some of these principles along the way. How many of you get sick of this question? Anyone? Anyone? Raise your hands. Show of hands? Okay. Some of you know, and we're so grateful for you. I have a brother who's known from the time he was like 8 that wanted to be a fighter pilot. He's graduated from the Air Force Academy and is in the flight program right now to be a fighter pilot. But I was not one of those people. And I think no matter what, we always face times of uncertainty. So as I was being asked this question and getting really tired of it, what do you want to be? Oh, you're an English major, what are you going to do with that? Can you do anything with that? I realized that at the root of that question is a more important one. What do you want? What are your deepest desires? In your heart of hearts, what do you really want? What do you want to be? As I asked myself that question, I realized that I want to be a force for good in this world. I want my time and talents to be put to the best use they possibly can be in building God's kingdom. That's what I want. So I graduate from BYU in April of 2015. On graduation day, I get a call offering me a job in Salt Lake City. Best graduation present ever. So I moved from Provo to Salt Lake. As some of you know, it's a little bit different dynamic, from Provo to Salt Lake. And I was meeting lots of different people who had very different backgrounds than I did. I'd be exposed to a lot of ideas, and right there with the Capitol and church headquarters, you see firsthand a lot of what's going on and the changes that are happening. And as I looked around, I saw my peers struggling with a lot of things. Things like their faith, their self-esteem, dating, you all know that one. Policy changes with the church, political upheaval. And I felt my desire to be a force for good deepen into a desire to be a voice of hope for my generation. That's principle number 1. Discover what it is that drives you, what you at your heart of hearts really want, and then follow your desires to do good. So I had this desire. Now, I'm a writer. I learned how to read when I was before kindergarten, and so when everyone else was learning how to read in first grade, I was learning how to write, and have been writing ever since. So it made sense that I would do something to act on this desire with my writing. The best thing I could think of to do was start a blog addressing some of these concerns that I was seeing my peers struggle with, and me as well. But I was, you have those moments of self-doubt where you're like, can I really do this? Is this the right thing? What if I suck? What if nobody reads it? And just struggling how to get started. And that brings us to to principle number 2. When you're facing these times of uncertainty and when you are struggling to know how best to move forward to act on your desires to do good, draw support from your circle of trust. And they should be people, generally a very few people, who know you for who you are, who can see your potential, who will tell you when you suck, you're being an idiot, and will pick you back up when you fall down. Those are the really most valuable people you can have in your life. And there's so many resources and so many great people and mentors that you have available to you here at BYU. One of those for me is Dr. Gideon Burton in the English department. I took a class from him my sophomore year here at BYU that completely changed the way I thought of myself as a learner and a citizen in the digital age, and exponentially expanded my perspective of the potential that I have to be a voice of hope and a force for good. So I go to Dr. Burton whenever I need a good shot of perspective and inspiration for my life. So I email him, and I tell him about some of the things I'm struggling with and this idea to start a blog, and he said, you know what, just do it. Just start. See what happens. Because goodness knows we need more voices of hope. So I did. I started my blog, and the 4th post I wrote on that blog was called, "This is Why I'm Single." As a young single adult, I was in a lot of conversations around being single, which I'm sure many of you have been in before. And I was hearing this tone of like pessimism and almost despair that didn't sit well with me. Like we were somehow like second-class citizens, or life couldn't start, whatever. A lot of anger, a lot of thorny emotion. So I wrote about how this stage of life is an important stage of growth and preparation and change, and that God's promises are sure, and my life will be good if I trust Him. Now I know that my writing is good if I want to read it again. You know those papers you turn in and you're like, I hope I never see that ever again. Yeah. This was not one of those. I read it and I was like, yeah, that's good. I read it again, and I posted it on my blog, and I posted a link to it on Facebook. I didn't really think very much of it. Like, yeah, my friends will see it, but it was more about just saying what needed to be said. It blew up the internet. It was getting all kinds of likes and shares and comments on Facebook. A site called Millennial Norms picked it up and featured it. LDS Daily picked it up not too long after that. And then soon thereafter, Desert News contacted me and asked if they could feature it on their website. So what do you say? Like, yes, cool, sweet, sign me up. And then this huge wave of feedback hit. And I was getting messages from all over South America, South Africa, Spain, Portugal, France, all over the United States, Canada. And it was a lot. Especially for my little introverted self. You know, kind of overwhelming to talk to people. And a couple of things became very clear to me. Number one, I'm on the right track. This desire I have is a good one. And I have the power to do something, to say things that can touch people all over the world. As a result of that experience, I was invited to write for LDS.org. This was my first blog post in March of last year. I've written several since then that you may have seen featured on the front page. And that's been a really rewarding experience for me. But on the flip side, I learned showing up, letting people see who you are in a really vulnerable and personal part of yourself, it's freaking scary. Ugh. And you find yourself exposed to critics, both external, like the ones that say, get out of Utah and stop living under a rock, and internal, the ones that say, oh my gosh, what have I done? I have just told the entire Mormon world that I'm single. How much more desperate do people think I can be? But as I was going through this experience, I remembered a principle that says, have the courage to show up and be seen. Success is showing up and letting people see you for who you are. Letting them see what you've created. Letting them see your desires to do good. A woman named Brené Brown taught me this principle. She's given a couple of excellent TED Talks, highly recommend. Also, all of her books, I'm a total groupie, so. And she studies vulnerability and shame and connection. She quotes Teddy Roosevelt, who gave a famous speech that starts, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or how the doer of deeds could have done it better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat and blood, who at the best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." And I knew that as scary as that was, from all those people figuratively looking at me, that I wanted to show up in my life. Because nothing happens if we don't show up. Nothing happens until we show up. We have to go to the edge of our comfort zone and step out. And I don't think it ever gets more comfortable. By definition, stepping out of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. You just get more used to it. And now I find myself in a very similar position to the one I was in when I was graduating from BYU. My contract at the church ends in May, and I've been planning to move to Washington, D.C. because I want to and because I can. Do I have a job? No. Do I know people over there? Too. Do I know what it's going to be like? I don't know, but I feel like it would be a good experience for me. But just this week, another opportunity came up, and I was invited to interview for a position that would be more permanent and would give me a chance to challenge myself and expand my leadership skills. Here we go again. And I find myself thinking things like this, feeling like this, yet again. Because I worry so much about, like, am I doing the right thing for my life? Is this what I'm supposed to do? And what if I fail? But something I've had to remind myself is this. Remember that all experience, good, bad, hard, not hard, fail, victory, all of it can be valuable because it brings understanding. We cannot learn the things we need to learn without going through the learning process. You can't skip the hard part. You have to walk into it. And I've had to practice believing that life is a practice. That yes, I have one life, but in that life, I'm practicing becoming who I want to be. And I've got a lot of chances. And that my process is okay. It may not look like anyone else's process. In fact, I can guarantee you that your process will not look like anyone else's because you are not anyone else. You are you. And that's okay. It's okay to be where you are. It's okay to go through your own process. And most of all, I need to practice believing that my life will have value. I know that if my desires are good, and that if I know that my process is okay, then I can move forward in times of uncertainty, knowing that my life will have purpose and value, and that I will create that purpose along the way. Thank you.